Zach here. Today I'm going to walk through using a new filter plugin that I wrote to parse the output from the top command. So if I scroll down here in the blog post, I have an example of how I use the top command via Ansible. So just a couple options I'll make note of that I'm using. So the first one is the width option, setting it to 512. That's going to be the max for top. And I do that so that the name of the command or process running doesn't get cut off in the output. And then I use this -B, which is batch mode, basically useful for writing to a file or piping it to another tool. And then -O, percent memory, so that's my ordering. So in this particular case, I'm ordering it by the percentage of the memory usage. And then -N1 is basically saying just capture one iteration. So effectively manipulating top not to run and take multiple iterations of the metrics and just have it do a quick snapshot. So that's all I'm looking for here. So then to use the filter plugin, you would basically take the raw output from an Ansible top command and you'll pass it the standard out lines. So that is a default variable that Ansible will spit out, which basically just splits the standard out on new lines. And then pipe it through to my filter plugin. So let's take a look at what that actually looks like in action. So I've run this job here in Ansible Automation Platform, and what I've been doing was helping a customer with recently is detecting high memory usage processes based off of an alert that I got in observability platform, and then killing that process if it's in some sort of allow list, or maybe creating an incident if it's a process that we don't necessarily want to kill but we want to investigate. So here's where I'm actually running top. And you'll notice that in the output of top, right, this is how top spits out data, which it's nice and it's tabular, but the top here is slightly different, and this is just a raw string, right? So there's no true structure here, even though it does look somewhat structured. So my filter plugin takes this and turns it into an actual JSON object. So if we go to this next step here where it's parse top output and I click on it, now we have a JSON object that we can work with to use downstream tasks in our Ansible playbook to actually make a decision based off of the data that came back from top. So the meta section here is basically taking that top part at the top output, which is more system-wide metrics. So total tasks, CPU numbers, memory, and then swap numbers. And if I scroll down, I then have a list of tasks. So each task is going to be that table we saw in the raw output, and they're ordered by memory. So in this particular case, I didn't have anything super high memory. So I've got the one agent plugin is consuming about 1.5%. And then you have some other data here as well. Very important, right? The process ID, as well as the user that invoked the process. I scroll down. So this would just be a list of all the tasks on the host. I keep scrolling here. I think we had total 233 tasks, right? 223, so we would have a list of 223 tasks with all the information about them. If you modified the columns of output for top, it would change the keys here in your resulting JSON object, because it is flexible in that sense where it's going to parse that header row in the top output and use that as the keys. So just keep that in mind. If you end up finding yourself wanting to use this in your Ansible playbooks, hopefully you'll give my plugin a shot, and definitely drop a note in the comments if you think of a clever way to use this. It'd be cool to see it out in the field. Thanks.